Well, hello, friends, and welcome to the Fullest Life Podcast. I'm your host, Vita Tucker. It is a great day. This is my first podcast in a couple of weeks, you guys, and so I really wish that I could be like that person who's on it like this, but I got so many other things that I'm on like this. That I can't be on all things at one time. And so I've learned to pace myself. And I learned not to also, you all, I am learning not to allow myself to be stressed out. If I'm going to do this, I'm supposed to do this in God's name and in God's will and not in mine. And when I get to stressing, I realize it's more Vita than it is him. So if this is your first time tuning into the Fullest Life Podcast, welcome to the Fullest Life Podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to women. It is dedicated to us living our fullest life. And it doesn't mean that we don't have trials and circumstances and situations going on, y'all. It just means that we are endeavoring to live our fullest life. And so with that, we have a base scripture, and it is Psalms 16 and 11. And in that scripture, the Lord said that he will show us the path of life, and in his presence is fullness of joy, and at his right hand there are pleasures forevermore. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for those who've been riding with me since May of 2020. Thank you for those who are new. I know we have some new people who are following me on the Fullest Life Podcast, and I say welcome. Thank you for tuning in. And so you all, we're going to jump in and just get going. Now, I want to say this. The Fullest Life Podcast, there's a lot of podcasts out there, like thousands, hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and everybody is doing something different. You have podcasts where there are two hosts and they do like this back and forth thing. Then you have those podcasts where, it's kind of like a TV talk show, and they sit on one side and then they have guests that come on and everything, and all of those are those are great. And then you have people who do like I do. You're just an individual and you come on and you're sharing and you're giving. And so there are a lot of different podcasts, but for this particular podcast, I'm open to, because I've had on a guest, but it was during COVID, so we had to just have conversation over the through the phone, but we weren't in person. And I really look forward to being able to do that more, where we have actually people who are going to come on, have conversation. We're like face to face, because I love that face to face conversations. But where we are right now, I'm just on here and I come on and I talk about different topics and different things that have to do with real life, you all. And the reason why is because life is real. And sometimes life can get so real that we become like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle life. It's like a lot coming at me at one time. It's a lot going this way. Which way do I go? Which way do I go? And so my hope and my desire is that I can help shine a little light for you on which way to go. Not Vita's light, but the light of the Lord, just showing you his love, his mercy, his goodness, however that is through this podcast. And so I hope that my prayers that you're getting something out of. And I know that there are people, because you all send me messages all the time and letting me know, where are you at? You've been gone for 2 weeks and stuff like that. And so here I am. And so I was thinking the other day about moments, like this podcast is moments. Every podcast I do is a moment. And the one thing about it is it's a recorded moment. So I can't say, oh no, I never said that or I never did that, because it's recorded. Not only is it recorded, that it's posted. It's posted on it's on Facebook. It's on the YouTube. It's posted on Spotify. It's posted on Apple Podcasts. It's posted on iHeart Podcasts. It's posted on all these other podcast platforms. So my moments when I come on, they're real moments in life, and there's a record of the moment, right? But then we have those moments in life, and that's not, because everybody's not doing a podcast, but moments in our lives that are not necessarily recorded for everyone to see, but they're recorded in our hearts. They're recorded in the lives of the people we touch. They're recorded in history through our legacy. They're recorded in what we do and what we will say and what will be heard and what we will say be said to us, like when we leave this earth. And my belief is, and stand in the presence of the Lord, there will be a remembrance of the moments we had in our lives. And so with that being said, I think I said at the beginning of this year that my goal and my word, if I have to have a word for 2023, it's intentional. I want to be intentional about life. I want to be intentional about my relationships. I want to be intentional about the moves I make. I want to be intentional about what I say to people and how I say it. And all of those things make up moments. And so my heart is that my moments make up a memory that somebody wants to remember. And so I'm thinking about moments like, I think about moments like when I was a child and things that I remember that people did, good, bad, and otherwise, or said that make up who I am as a woman. And so my thing for us is, what are you doing with your moments? Are you taking your moments and just blowing them? Or are you taking your moments and making great memories for yourself and the people around you? You know, one of the hardest jobs in the world is the job of parenting. And I can tell you that because I have a 26-year-old son that I parented. But always been my goal for him is that I would make moments that he would want to remember. But I had to think about that. It's something on the other side. Is he making moments that I want to remember, right? And so he and I laughed the other day about some things that had gone on in his life and some things he had been through. And I'm like, whoa, man, son, you've had some moments. And he was like, yeah, I have had some moments. And so that made me think, like, wow, whoever you think you are right now today, whatever your thoughts are in reference to who you are, what you can accomplish, what you can be, and what you can have, where you can go, what your life holds, it's based on moments. And you all don't take your moments for granted. Now, when you look back on your life, you can't go back and change a moment. That moment is what it is. It's gone, whether you said, did, or whatever it was. If it was good, bad, or ugly, that's that moment. And you can't redo it. But what you can do is choose not to live in that moment. Some things that have happened in our lives that hurt us, that cause us pain, that cause us to look at things with blinders on. You know, some of us walk around, we're like this. We got blinders on our eyes because we can't see clearly because of some moments we've had in our lives. There are people that I know who are bitter to the core. Women, I call them bitter Bettys. They are so angry at the world, and it's because of some moments that happen that they've never been able to get past. But while you cannot relive a moment or you can't erase a moment, you can move past the moment. And so my hope for us is that we are making some new moves, some new memories, some new moments that help us get past those old moments. You know, so thought just came. So if you have a basket of fruit basket, and it's sitting on the counter, right? You sit it on the counter and it's sitting there. It's sitting there for some moments, and each moment somebody might walk past, grab a piece of fruit, a banana, whatever. Maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks goes by. The moments are still going on in life. That fruit is still sitting there. And then one day you walk past it, that beautiful shiny apple that you had in that basket, that wonderful, very bright yellow banana that was sitting in there, that orange that was orange sitting in that basket. You walk past after a few weeks and you start to look at it like, that doesn't look the same. Now you're smelling something. You're like, something doesn't smell the same. That kind of stinks, Something that was once good in a moment, if it goes unattended, becomes stinky in a moment, right? So does that mean you stop eating fruit? Does it mean that you throw out the whole basket? Does it say to you, oh, that's how it always been? Always be. I'll never need to eat another piece of fruit because in that last moment, that fruit rotted, it stank, it got ugly, it smelled up my kitchen. No more fruit. No, that's not what we do. We take it, we dump it in the trash, we get rid of it, we clean that basket or whatever the bowl is that was in, and we go get some new fruit. You all make some new moments in your life. I am so sorry that you were hurt. I am so sorry that the people who hurt you hurt you. I'm so sorry that whatever happened to you happened to you. But what I don't want you to do, my friend, my sister, is to live in an old moment and stop enjoying your life. Life is so much more than what happened in your past. And you got ahead of you some great opportunities, some great moments to be made, but you have to choose to make the best of your moments. Make the best of your moments because moments become lifetimes. In your lifetime, and I don't want any of us to lay on whatever bed we are at the end of our lives, whether we're whole in our bodies and we're laying there at 98, 102, 110, laying back thinking, what do I remember? And all it could be is bad moments. No. Make you some good moments. Start finding ways that you can make some moments out of the worst times in your life. You can make some moments. I told you guys, the end of last year and the beginning of this year, from the end of the last year to the beginning of this year, I had a traumatic moment and time in my life. That time period, I want to say from December, the beginning of December to towards like the beginning of January, almost mid-January, it was rough, you all. It was absolutely hard. I think it's the hardest time. I thought my divorce years ago was the hardest thing I've ever been through in my life, but this was harder. And in those moments, I could choose to say that is what life is in the moment. But even in those moments, I can smile because I remember some good times that happened in those moments because I had to push past my emotions and make the smile. Find a reason to smile. Find something to look at. You guys remember when in December when I was stuck in Pennsylvania in a snowstorm in a hotel room for 9 days? I was there for 9 days. Couldn't get out because of the snow, because of the weather there. I couldn't leave there and get home. And so that could have been one of those moments that I could have taken and just became so upset and so angry and just couldn't find anything good in it. But boy, that was a good time, okay? It was a moment that I call, it was my God moment. It's where God pulled me away from everything that was going on around me in the midst of all that crazy, pulled me away, got me into a spot by myself with just Him where He just loved on me. He allowed me to love on Him. He allowed me to cry some things out and to build me up. And when I came out of that storm, which seemed, I didn't plan the snowstorm. I had no control over anything. I had no control over the airplane, the airport. I could do nothing but to sit in that hotel room. I went out and I drove around, got a couple of things to eat because I was in a really small town. And so they didn't have a whole lot. It wasn't like I was stuck in, Vegas or New York or somewhere. I was stuck in a small town in PA. And so I did get out. And people would say to me, why are you going out? Because I refuse to have a moment in my life where all I can do is see the bad. I'm going out. I'm going to go get me something to eat. I'm going to see some people. I'm going to be kind to somebody. I'm going to smile. Then I'm going to come back in and me and God going to have this wonderful time together. It was absolutely wonderful. It was the solace I needed in that moment. Now I can tell you this. There were some people who did not see my moment, that phase, as a good thing. They would say to me, "Oh boy, that's horrible. You ever gonna get out of there?" All of these that I know you're sad. I'm not. I'm not sad. I wasn't sad. I needed the break. And you know what happened in that break? It was some different kind of moments made where I became strengthened. I became stronger. So when I finally did go back home and I had to go back to my normal life in my battle, I was strengthened, you guys. I was like, okay, I can handle this better than I would have handled it had I not had that free time. Take your moment and make it great. Don't let anybody tell you that your moment is so bad that you can't come out. That's a lie. Your moment is your moment, and every one of them is intentional. God has a purpose for your moments. And if you just follow him, I don't think it's just, for me, Psalms 16 and 11, it's not just a scripture. It's not something I say because I don't have nothing else to do. But I believe that he will show me the path of life. So every moment that I'm going through, some of them, he didn't say the path, I'm going to show you the path of Candyland, and everything is going to be gumdrops and cherry bombs, and you're going to have a little smile on your face all the time carrying your candy cane and sliding down the slide and coming up. Never in the world did he say that, because that's not life. He will show us the path of life. That means even in those rough times, even in those tough times, you guys, if you follow, if you take the moment to enjoy and to get in the presence and just allow him to be your guide, he said, you will have fullness of joy. You can have joy. And at his right hands are pleasures forevermore. Pleasure means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but I'm going to tell you the best pleasure I can ever have is peace. Peace, you all. Peace. So, my goal, my thought, my hope, my intention of today is to tell you, make moments you want to remember. Live a life full of moments that when you lay on that bed years from now, and you're at the end of your life, you can have more to smile about than you have to regret. That you can have more to smile about than you're mad about. Because I don't want to lay on my bed when I get 110. Yes, I said 110. I don't want to have anything at 110 that I am still regretting, that I'm still angry about, that I'm holding against somebody. No way, Jose. At 110, I want to be laid there, kicked up, telling my great-great-grands about how good my life has been. All my wonderful experiences and the things that happened and the things I survived and how I'm better and I'm stronger and how I chose to live my fullest life. That's what we got to do, ladies. It's a choice. Let's choose to live our fullest life. Be intentional about your moments. Don't let people come in there and rock shot and run ragging around your day. No. Stop. Put a hold to it. If it's causing you pain and it's causing you trauma, you know what? I had someone say, hey, you have to be the peacemaker, because there's a scripture that says that we are peacemakers. You know what? I am a peacemaker, but the first person I need to make sure has some peace is over here. If I'm so busy running crazy, doing stuff with people that now I've lost my peace, then something's wrong. Something's wrong. Go back to the drawing board, reassess. Okay, how can I do this better? And you can. And you can have a full life. And you can live full so that you die empty. That's exactly what I want to do, you guys. Live full so that I die empty. So, I love you all. I tell you every time I come on here, have a super remainder of your week, remainder of your day. but make moments that you want to remember. Take a moment right now. If you are stressed, just find somebody to be kind to, because if you're kind to someone else, it not only makes them feel good, it makes you feel good. Take that moment and turn it around, you know? If you're sitting there like, oh, nothing's going on, my life is just blah, you know what? Go get you some grapes, go get you some cheese, get you your favorite beverage. For me, it's some Perrier sparkling water. Sit down, kick your feet up, and have a moment. Make it like you got a. It might be just grapes and cheese, but you can act like you got the best charcuterie board in the world in front of you, whatever you like to drink, and you sitting on some mountaintop and just having this great moment right there on your couch and can't nobody stop you. So, love you all. Have a great week and talk to you later. Take care.